Thanks, Tim. In life, it's easy to find a good person, but it's hard to find a good person that's as good as what he does in his world. And we found that guy, the combo, a good pitcher and a good person, an even better person, and that's Clayton Kershaw. Clayton, thanks a lot for the time. Always appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, don't expect too many nice things after that, okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't. Appreciate that.
I guess I should break the news to you that a couple of days ago, right here, I did volunteer you to have a shooting contest against Mookie Betts. So I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Mookie, very athletic, very good at a lot of things. But as long as I can just stand there and shoot, I think I might beat him.
He said you have the advantage because you're a lefty.
Is that a thing? Lefties shoot better? Is that a thing?
Yeah, especially set shooters.
Yeah, like I model my game after Sam Perkins. You remember Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam, best set shot in the game, just stand back there, barely jump, and nail the three. That's my game.
Oh man, I can envision that. He was a Laker for a short period of time.
Yes, I do remember that back in the day.
Yeah, but you remember him with when he was a little heavier with the Dallas Mavericks.
That's true. That's what I remember.
Clayton, just after your start on Sunday, how excited are you with the way that you performed?
Yeah, it was great. I think, after all that time off and, missing opening day, and I was just anxious to get out there to see what it looked like because, you can kind of get a feel for spring training in March, and then, you had those preseason games at the field facing your own teammates. But getting in there against another opponent, I did still have a little bit of like nervous energy butterflies, which is good facing another team, even though there's no fans, and didn't really know kind of what to expect. But thankful that it felt good. I felt like it was coming out good, and it was a good first one.
I remember that you said the week before opening day, you might have to find different ways to get that adrenaline. Is the first start, the adrenaline is there for yourself and you don't need to create it? And do you feel like that'll be the case moving forward?
Yeah, I think overall, I don't know whether we're getting used to playing the way that we're doing it now or what, but I feel like the product on the field has been really good. I feel like, if you're watching on TV, I've been able to watch a few games on TV. It really feels somewhat normal. So I think that's a credit to the guys. It's a credit to the league for, being able to still put a great product on the field. And, adrenaline wise and things like that, obviously having fans there, it creates a little bit more. But at least for my first one, I felt like I had it. And, hopefully that continues.
I noticed you and your teammates that are not playing are sitting closer to home plate. Do you see the game a different way than you do from the dugout?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like if you sit on the first row, kind of like you're in the dugout, it kind of feels normal, like you're just in the dugout. But, you scoot back like just 4 or 5 rows, it feels like everybody's throwing 1,000 miles per hour. Like it literally is like a fan's perspective back there. It feels like you can't even see the baseball. So it's amazing to watch in different vantage points. And, we'd love to be in the dugout, obviously. But, we had that meeting and decided that it was just better to play it safe and be out of the dugout.
I loved watching you the first night in San Diego when Jock hit that leadoff home run. You got out of your chair and you were able to do your high five for him.
Yeah, I know. Jock got a little excited. We're trying to limit our high fiving, but leadoff homer, Jock's fired up. I got to give it to the guy.
Yeah,
he had batting gloves on at least, so we're good.
Yeah, you got to come up with like a shimmy shake or something.
Ooh, I like that. I'll look into that. That's a good idea.
You've got the dance moves. We've seen them in previous years now. You're starting to show people that you do have some rhythm.
Yeah, I believe I do. They come out at weddings. That's probably my number one spot. I love a good wedding dance floor. But, there's certain times where you just got to bust loose, Dave. You just got to don't care who's watching and just go for it.
Yeah, for sure. I have to loosen up. The joints got to get loosened up before I'm able to do the worm or something like that.
All right. Maybe a nice glass of vino for you. You're ready to go?
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
Perfect.
Hey, Clayton, with everything that's gone on in the world and with baseball, is there something that you appreciate more about the game that you maybe took for granted?
Well, I think I just missed it. I was telling, Ellen, we were in Dallas for the quarantine and, it was great, good family time and you got to be together. And, But yeah, I really did miss baseball. I really missed pitching. I really missed just everything about it, which was good. I think it was good for me to realize that I still really want to be out here. I still really want to do it. And I think that was, in a sense, good for me to realize that baseball is important, and I enjoy it, and I miss it in my life, and thankful that I get to do it again. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a little more gratitude involved that we were able to figure out this season, and even if it is just 60 games without fans, it's still the game that we all love to play, and we want to do it.
You know this better than anybody. It seems like everybody in sports is always clamoring for who's next, and sometimes take for granted for the guys that are still doing it at a high level. Is that part of the equation of motivation for you at this stage?
Well, no motivation as far as like what other people like think, or if you're not the same you used to be and things like that. That doesn't really bother me. I just want to be I want to be as good as I can. And I think in past couple of years, like, it's not that I just knew that there was something that wasn't quite right. And you're still able to compete and you're still able to do things. But, hopefully this year I can be what I want to be and what I expect to be for the whole year. And we'll see what happens with that. But, yeah, the game's changing for sure. You saw last night, what D-May, that is unbelievable, that stuff. That is like, you don't ever see that anywhere. And the guy on their side too, Lamet, was really, really good. And you're going to see Richards tonight for them throwing 97, 98. And it's just everybody out of the bullpen. It's just crazy to see the amount of talent and arms that we have. And it's fun that I still get to do it with them.
Isn't there something to be said, though, about pitching and the art of pitching rather than just relying on 99? And what Dustin May did was incredible, don't get me wrong, but isn't there something to be said about the art of pitching still?
Yeah, I think pitchers are ultimately still going to be judged on their performances and not their stuff, So I think stuff is what gets you noticed and what gets you recognized. And what you saw D-May do last night was pitch with really good stuff, and that's the result of what it can be. So he was not missing many spots. His cutter was breaking really hard right in on lefties, and sinker was right on the outside corner. And there's a lot of guys that throw 95 to 100, and if you don't throw enough strikes, you might have to go to the bullpen, and if you don't throw enough strikes there, you're not going to be in the game no matter what. So you're right, pitching is still commanding the baseball, figuring out strengths and weaknesses, and it just really helps when you throw 100 miles per hour.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I was curious, with young pitchers, a lot of times they're not allowed to work through adversity in the minor leagues. Do you feel like that was a big step for Dustin last night to be able to throw a lot of pitches in one inning, but also be able to stay in there and reel it back in?
Yeah, I think, his last start, I'm trying to remember where he pitched last. Oh, in Houston. I think he lost it a little bit out of the stretch. And so for him to, your biggest situations are going to be pitching out of the stretch. And so for him to get a couple, a guy on or here or there and make big pitches out of the stretch is really important for him. And his stuff played the entire night. He didn't lose anything from the first inning into the sixth inning, which is a sign of his endurance and a credit to him that he worked incredibly hard all quarantine to be able to do that. And that's huge for us. We're going to need him.
Definitely. He pitched great, and so did Clayton Kershaw in his first start back. And before I let you go, see, you're getting so good at these interviews that you lead me into my segue of, speaking of Houston, what did you think of Joe Kelly's number of games that Chris Young suspended him for?
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I don't know the math. What does it equal out to for 162 games? It's like 20 something, right? Or,
22, yeah.
Yeah, that's unprecedented, obviously. So, with everything considered and everything that has gone on and that will go on, maybe cut that down a bit for Joe. I think that'd be fair.
Will you be a witness in his favor for his appeal?
Do you get to do that? Do you get to call witnesses?
Sure.
All right. As long as I don't have to wear a suit, I'll do it.
Well, everybody knows you would be honest.
I will be honest. You're right. I will be honest.
That's the type of witness you want. You want an honest witness.
I will give my opinion. That's for sure.
You don't want Dave Vassegh up there. They'll know that this guy is not telling the truth.
I know they can see right through you, huh?